please believe me when I say this. I don't go into any show looking to hate it. Every time I turn on a WWE or AEW show, I am expecting to be entertained by something. If I know I'm not going to be entertained, I'm just not going to watch it. I don't need to be a slave to bad content. I'm not the type of content creator that purposely hate watches something to then talk about it for views. I don't do that. There are others on here that do that, and that's cool. But I watch a show hoping to like it. And when I don't get that, yes, I'm going to be vocal about it. Now, let me say this too. I'm not expecting every show to be a home run, right? There is no such thing as a perfect, well, I have my opinions on what considers to be a perfect episode or a perfect show, but that's just subjective. In terms of professional wrestling, there isn't that perfect, absolutely flawless Dynamite, Raw, SmackDown, even WCW, ECW. There is no such thing as a perfect show. There's always going to be 20, 15, 10% of whatever show that you don't like. There's always going to be that small section, part of the show that makes you go, what the hell was that? Right? I'm not expecting to like everything. Not everything is for me, and that is okay. But man, when a majority of the show is hot garbage, and the only good thing is Jon Moxley and Darby Allin doing what I think is a cinematic promo, which was great, by the way, and then maybe Tony Storm and Chris Statlander, although I have my issues with that too. When the rest of the 3-hour show makes you go, why am I watching this? Who's watching this? That's not good. And that's the question I had in my head watching this 3-hour go-home show to Wrestle Dream this Saturday. And yes, it was 3 hours. 2 hours of Dynamite, 1 hour of Collision. I'm sitting here going, why am I torturing myself? Who the hell is actually watching this and going, this is amazing. The greatest show in the world. Who is saying that? And why are you saying it? Because I need you to explain to me why, how, where, what, when. What about this exactly is better than WWE or any other show besides the fact that it's not WWE? Because I genuinely believe the only people watching this show are WWE haters. And they love it because it's not WWE. And that's it. They can have someone go out on that show and take a dump inside the ring, and then they'll still say it's better than WWE. They have no standards. It's just, I will love anything that's not Triple H, Nick Khan-esque TKO, right? I'm not that dude. If I don't like it, I'm going to say I don't like it. And I thought these last few episodes of Dynamite over the last month have been hot garbage. The one 2 weeks ago was hot garbage. The one last week was hot garbage. This one especially was hot garbage. Longer doesn't always mean better. I'm sorry. This was torture. I almost didn't get through it. I literally was fighting with myself. And I'll tell you exactly where I almost turned it off. So after the first 2 hours, which was, I'm sorry, that was hard enough. When they started Collision and they had Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta come out to that generic ass theme song, I said to myself, what am I doing? why am I wasting my time giving my attention to a second-rate show like this if you're not even going to try to make me care? Why am I watching the Death Riders take on some makeshift team called the Conglomeration? Yes, Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy. What does this have to do with Wrestle Dream? And that was also an issue with the show. When it was said and done, I had to ask myself, what the hell is even on this card? Besides Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley, an I Quit match, by the way, which should be the main event. No offense to Samoa Joe and Hangman Page. I said to myself, do we even have a full card? We do. I had to look it up. Genuinely forgot about some of these matches until I looked at them. But this show, quite honestly, did not do a great job of making me care about this card. And then I look at the card. Now, I will say this. On paper, this is 10 times better than All Out was. Is it better than All In? I don't really think it... Well, I don't know. I might have to look at that All In card again. But this is so much better than All Out. And yes, I will be spending the $50. I will be spending the $50 to watch this because of a few matches on here. But even with that being said, I think a good solid 3 matches that we have could be done on Dynamite. Now, the rest of the card, despite the terrible build, I can let go. Because I could just look at it and go, well, at the very least, that's going to be a great match. And that's something that would help get AEW through even the worst types of bookings for the last 5-6 years, right? When their weekly shows failed them, I would always tell myself, damn, that Dynamite was terrible, but the pay-per-view, the card, looks like it's going to be an absolute banger. AEW, for the longest time, were the kings of pay-per-views. Yes, the shows are terrible. But when it came to nut-cutting time, when it came to spending that $50, you always got your money's worth, right? And that's something I took pride in. That wasn't the case for the last year or so. And it certainly wasn't the case. It certainly wasn't the case for All Out. That was the first time I said, I'm not spending $50 on this. This is not worth my time. Especially considering now WWE is charging us more to watch their pay-per-views. I don't want to, need to, nor desire to spend $50 on a show. That's not worth my time. I mean, I don't get a lot of views for these AEW videos anyways. This one might do all right, but I doubt it. And I don't need to rage bait, hate watch a show for views. I can watch a show that I like and get, if not more, just as much views as I would with this one. But I guess we can just talk about the Wrestle Dream card and then kind of go through my issues with AEW right now, because I'm trying to figure out what the hell we're doing with AEW. So, right out the bat, the first match I see here is Jamie Hayter versus Thekla. I still have no idea who the hell Thekla is. Oh, you don't watch the show? I watch every show. It's a woman that does a spider crawl. And correct me if I'm wrong, the only times I've seen her talk were tonight and then I think a promo a few weeks ago, right? I still don't know, like, okay, but why here? Why did you come here? What is your purpose? What is your character? Does she have a character? Is she building a character? Why is she teaming with Sky Blue and the other chick? What's going on here? You know what I mean? But I'm also sitting here going, is this all we have for Jamie Hayter? Like, Jamie Hayter should be competing for the Women's World title. She still never got her rematch against Toni Storm. I'm serious. Like, this feels beneath Jamie Hayter. And I think the sooner we get done with this, hopefully, the faster we can move on to something better. And that's all I'm going to say about this. I'm hoping Jamie Hayter beats her and we move on. By the way, that other chick was Julia Hart. I genuinely forgot about her name. Julia Hart. But whatever. Jamie Hayter beats them and then we can move on from this, please. Would really appreciate that. I have a question. Before I go on to the next match, aren't they doing some type of a tournament for the women's tag team titles? Because I don't see that here. Is it going to be off screen, like on the pre-show? Because I was thinking they were doing a tournament for the women's tag team titles. I see nothing about that on this card. Unless I missed that match somehow. Here's a match I didn't miss. Trios match. Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet and GOA. Or The Demand. That is such a dumb name. Why are they called The Demand? Why are we calling them The Demand? What about them screams demand? Also, can I just say it? This isn't working. Ricochet and the Gates of Agony just feels off. No chemistry whatsoever. Feels so randomly thrown together. It's almost like Tony Khan told them, hey guys, this is going to be great. You can make it work. And they're trying to make it work. It doesn't work. It's not working. And I'm sitting here, just like with Jamie Hayter, waiting on them to push Ricochet towards the championship. Is the plan to make them the next Trios champions? You want to make Ricochet a Trios champ? Okay. But besides my issues with the demand, why are we doing this again? So correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me. They did this match at All Out already, right? They already did it last month. And now they're doing it a third time because they did it again last week, and that was a street fight. So the Hurt Syndicate, I believe, lost their first match at All Out. I don't remember. I think so, right? And then they got their win back last week. And so now we're doing a third match. And this one doesn't have a stipulation. What? So you went from not having one in the first match, typical, having one in the second one, and then not having one in the third one. That is so stupid. At least make it elimination. Like, mix it up a little bit. Why would you just go back to a regular trios match? Especially after having a street fight. For me, the street fight should have been the end of it. Because now I'm wondering, why are we still going back to this? Well, who are we trying to get over? You had the Hurt Syndicate lose to GOA, yes, by interference from Ricochet. So that's the first time the Hurt Syndicate has lost as a tag team. You know, outside of MVP. And you had them lose to the Gates of Agony? Who I'm sorry, they are not that great. I look at Gates of Agony and I go, this is a boring fucking team. There's nothing about them that's special. I'm not saying the Hurt Syndicate can't lose. I am perfectly okay with them losing. But to the Gates of Agony? Is there no other tag team that you could have given this win to? Like FTR. At least that would have been appropriate. Wish they were fighting FTR, honestly, but whatever. So we're doing another trios match. What? So it's the blow-off rubber match here. Does the Hurt Syndicate win? Get the final victory and the feud rivalry? Or are we going to give it to Ricochet and Gates of Agony so they can go on to win the trios titles? I would think you would want the Hurt Syndicate to still be strong, right? So, yeah, I would have the Hurt Syndicate win here. I'm surprised we're not doing Bobby Lashley versus Hangman Page. Maybe we'll do that at Full Gear. But that should be a match down the line. Speaking of tag teams, it's good to have him back. Jurassic Express, that's Jungle Boy Jack Perry, or just Jungle Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus taking on the Young Bucks. Now, why did Tony Khan make this a $500,000 match? Literally $500K. The winner gets $500K. Why? I'm genuinely asking, like, why are we doing that? That adds nothing. That literally adds nothing to the match. I don't see how that makes me more interested in who wins or loses. It's so unnecessary. This match doesn't need it. What, is the Young Bucks poor? Is that the only way they would have gotten this match, is if you bribe them with $500K? I'm overthinking it. This didn't need it. It was already set up to work anyways, because there's history between the Young Bucks, the EVPs, and Jack Perry. They used to be a team, and then they abandoned Jack Perry, and he got back with Luchasaurus. Now, I would like a little bit more of why Luchasaurus and Jack Perry are back together, but we can get that over time. Just flesh that out, though. Also, I noticed that they're different. Jack Perry and Luchasaurus have a different relationship, and they're portraying themselves differently from how they used to as the previous Jurassic Express, which is fine. Just explain it to me, okay? Don't do this whole thing where you can figure it out yourself. No. Tell me the story. You're the storytellers. Tell the story. The match itself should be great. Part of the reason why I'm actually spending the $50 is Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks, because why would that not be a great match? They would have to try to fuck that up. Don't, please. Just keep it a straight match. Just let it be a match. Please. Let it be a match. Let them go crazy. It'll be a fantastic match. I'm expecting it. Hopefully, it'll be one of the best matches all night. I am expecting Jurassic Express to win their first match back. It would make no sense for them. Well, it's not their first match back, actually. Didn't they have a match on Collision? Okay, their first pay-per-view match back. Right? They should beat the Young Bucks. And it would play into the losing streak that the Young Bucks are currently on anyways. So, there you go. I'm excited to see a tag team back together again. TNT Championship match. Everyone's favorite wrestler, Kyle Fletcher. I don't understand it. I would never understand it. Versus Mark Briscoe. Now, on any other pay-per-view, on any other night, I would be begging them to put the title on Mark Briscoe. This man has been busting his ass. He's earned it. Especially after beating MJF. Why would you not give him the belt here? But I already know that's a waste of time. It's fruitless. It's pointless. Because Kyle Fletcher is the chosen one. He's Tony Khan's favorite. He's the sickos' favorite. I don't understand it. I don't see it. I'm not saying he's a bad talent, but he's not that guy. He's not that guy. You want him to be that guy so bad, but he's not. And you tell me that he's that guy, it's not going to work. Especially when you consider all the people that he's surrounded by in the Don Callis family. He compares nowhere close to Kazuchika Okada, Konosuke Takeshita, Andrade. By the way, pause. What happened to Andrade? No. What the fuck happened to Andrade? I haven't seen him on TV at all for the last few weeks. Ever since he debuted at the anniversary, I've been looking for him. He hasn't been on TV since. What happened to him? What happened? Did he get fired already? I jest, but for real, like, am I tripping? Where has he been? So, that's weird. Was kind of hoping we would get Andrade versus Kenny Omega, which would have been fucking awesome, by the way. But no Andrade. Regardless, Kyle Fletcher doesn't feel like the main focus in his own group. He doesn't. So, quite honestly, if it was me, Mark Briscoe would be winning this match. but we all know Kyle Fletcher is going to win. AEW Tag Team Championships, Brody King, Bandito. I'm really wondering what the hell they're going to do with Buddy Matthews when he comes back. Is he healthy, by the way? Or is he still injured? But okay, Brody King and Bandito, your champs, are taking on Kazuchika Okada and the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Konosuke Takeshita. Now, I do remember these two having a match. I did see this match last week. And I thought the match was good. So, by them beating the champs, by them defeating Brody King and Bandito, they were owed a tag team title match at the show. Cool with me. Fine. Whatever. I'm expecting these two to basically cost each other the match because they don't get along, and that's going to build to an eventual Kazuchika Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita match down the line. It should be at Full Gear. It will probably be at World's End because they'll do a tournament for the Continental Classic. Right? And Konosuke Takeshita will win that one like he won the G1 Climax. Sure, whatever. It's just building for that eventual climactic match. And it is going to be one of the best matches that we see all year between Okada and Takeshita. I'm expecting it to be, at least. So for that to happen, they had to lose this match, which is what they'll do. Brody King and Bandito will win. So let's talk about it. The AEW Women's World Championship. Chris Statlander and Toni Storm. Is it just me, or is Chris Statlander already kind of boring as a champion? Now, look, I like Chris. I think she's great inside the ring. But personality-wise, nothing's there. She is bland as bland can be. And I'm already ready for them to put the belt back on Toni Storm. They're not going to. I think they want to ride this out for a couple of months. And that's fine. I do think Chris deserves a run. But if this is how they're going to book her, no thank you. This is already boring. Get that bet on Mercedes Moné. Y'all think I'm playing around. I don't care now. Now, Mercedes Moné is not having a match on this card yet. I don't know if they're going to make a last-minute match on the show of, because by the time we get to Saturday, she would have broken the TBS Championship record. So more than likely, she'll either drop it on Saturday in an impromptu match, or she'll drop it before Full Gear. But regardless, when and where she drops that belt, if she drops the belt, give her the Women's World title, please. Because Chris Statlander ain't it. I'm already not feeling it. I'm glad she won it. She can say she was a Women's World Champion, as she should be able to. And she's the first ever, if I'm not mistaken, to win both the TBS and the Women's World Championship. So congrats to her. But gosh, she's boring as hell. I'm not feeling her at all. And this rivalry feud between her and Toni Storm it's sexually weird. Like, they're playing it off as hate sex, but not actual sex. It's them fighting. Which, I get it. It's supposed to be funny, but, like, it's odd. Not saying I wouldn't be up for what they were pretending that it is, but still, like. Anyways, Chris Statlander will retain. And I have no idea what the hell they're going to do with Toni Storm after this. What do you do with Toni Storm after this? I guess you have her take a break, right? She takes a break? I have no idea. The last two matches, AEW World Championship, Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe. The match is going to be awesome. The build was terrible. Now, look, I'm all for building something off of pettiness. Like, Hangman Page having Samoa Joe drop his belt, just nonchalantly giving Samoa Joe his belt and Joe dropping it, and then Joe starting something off of that. I actually think that could work. But you had to take it far enough. It reminds me of when Chris Jericho spilled coffee on Kane, and that was the catalyst for Kane giving Chris Jericho, 2 months of hell? Like, he tortured Chris Jericho for 2 months because Chris Jericho spilled coffee on him. Like, I love that shit. You could have done something with Samoa Joe and Hangman Page in terms of something very small being made into something big. This wasn't it. Like, Joe dropped his belt because Hangman Page nonchalantly gave him his tag team or trios title, and then that was it. Nothing came from that. Like, Joe didn't take it far enough, in my opinion. He didn't go off enough. Joe's saying that he doesn't believe Hangman Page is a worthy world champ, that he's not worthy of that belt. I'm sorry, but I'm going to need a little bit more than that. Just a little bit more. The match is going to be awesome. I just wish they would have done a little bit more to make me care about this match, which is why I'm hoping it's not the main event. The one true main event on this show and what needs to close the show. Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley I Quit match. This was great. The build-up to it was great. You already know this is going to go too far. And that's the reason why you're buying the show. Everybody that watches Wrestle Dream on Saturday isn't watching it for the World Championship match, or the Women's World Championship match, or the Tag Team match, or the TNT match, or the $500 K match. Darby Allin and Jon Moxley are going to go too far. And it terrifies me. And that's why I want to watch it. What is Jon Moxley and or Darby Allin going to do to the other to make them say I quit? They already introduced a Molotov, a flamethrower. They were stabbing each other's skins with forks. So now, in your head, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a gore fest. Oh, they're going to go too far with this. Good. I thought their cinematic jail cell, whatever the hell segment they did on Dynamite, the best part of the entire show. And it's a simple premise. Who's going to quit? Who wins a match where either man is incapable of quitting? Although Jon Moxley did. Didn't he quit? Well, no, that was a Texas Death Match. I was thinking him and Hangman Page, right? So technically speaking, shouldn't Darby Allin, shouldn't he get the victory here by default? Because Jon Moxley has quit multiple times in his career, let alone in AEW. But they want you to believe that saying it verbally is different. So whatever, I'll go with that. Okay, so you have two men who are incapable of saying I quit. So what are they going to do to each other statistically to get them to that point? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Saw movies. I'm terrified. And let me just say this too. There's only been a few wrestlers in my lifetime that have made me wince watching them perform. Two of those wrestlers are Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. Because they've done things that even I go, what the fuck is wrong with you? And now, they're in an I Quit match. Just don't kill yourselves. Darby Allin will win. Jon Moxley won the coffin match. Darby Allin will win the I Quit match. What's the last match gonna be? An Inferno match? The pay-per-view will be good. The pay-per-view will be worth the $50. But we seriously have to consider whether or not we need to watch these weekly shows anymore. I'm sorry. I can never sit through another crappy 3 hours like that. Ever again. Ever again. And I'm not doing it. I will just literally turn the camera and just talk about the pay-per-view next time. Because fuck that. That was terrible. Who is watching these shows and going, oh my God, greatest show of all time. Seriously. It's dog shit. But y'all let me know how excited you are about the pay-per-view. Thank you for watching. Do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. I love you all, and I'll catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's World. The place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Peace.